Throne and Liberty is a crazy fun MMO that I have spent over 300 hours on. In this video, I am breaking down what makes Throne and Liberty one of the best MMO experiences to date. But before I get started, I just want to thank you guys so much for the support on the last video. I read each and every single comment, and your support for the channel for everything that I do is just so heartwarming. I truly appreciate your time, and you watching my video, of course. I know I've been away for some time, and I just came back recently right before Thanksgiving, but I wanted to drop this little video because I absolutely enjoy this MMO. It's been taking a lot of my time if I'm being honest, and I have a lot of great things to say. I have some negative things to say too, but I would appreciate it if you hit that like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get started. Throne and Liberty is an MMO developed by NCSoft and published by Amazon Games. You take control of an individual who happens to be blessed with a star fragment that gives them protagonist powers. The result is that your character has to go on a magical journey to find out who they are, why they have the power, where it comes from, and to rescue Silesium, the place where your character lives, from an impending and evil doom. And the story is pretty cut and dry. It's your typical protagonist who gets a hold of a divine power and needs to rescue the nation from a very evil empire known as the Archaean Legion. The story is pretty average, if I'm being honest. Your first 5 hours is going to be spent helping damsels in distress, as you, with the power of the star fragment, can rescue and solve their everyday problems. The story is not something you're going to want to tell your friends and family about. It's relatively meh, boring, but what will hook you is the seamless gameplay and the stunning visuals. Throne and Liberty is a full-on technical masterpiece and achievement that will set the bar for MMOs moving forward. Of course, every MMO has their fair share of bugs and glitches, but Throne and Liberty is truly the first MMO that I felt was a completely seamless package experience. The fact that I can go from city to city, area to area without encountering a single loading screen, no hiccup whatsoever, is nothing short of a technical marvel, and showcases how strong Unreal Engine is going to be for modern gaming. Now, you might be like, oh man, that's dumb as heck. No one's gonna care about that. Try the game, and you tell me. You're moving from area to area, and it's all one seamless transition, and the next thing you know, 2 hours are gone because you were just enthralled by the strong, vivid visuals, completing story and side missions, and just listening to the wonderful soundtrack. Beautiful set design. Each area is wonderfully designed, unique, and memorable. Honestly, just top-notch visuals in general. Combat is definitely action-packed with no defined classes. What weapons you have equipped is what your class is. For example, longbow and magic wand users are considered healers, while great sword and shield are considered tanks. But technically, there isn't any set way that you should play the game. Almost all of the weapon combinations are fun and unique, and most of them are viable. Some combos definitely overperform compared to others, but overall, you're going to find fun in what works best for you. The PvE in this game exists, and it's relatively deep due to the mechanics associated with combat. You'll have plenty of fun figuring out what works and doesn't work for Coop Dungeons, especially when the dungeons start to implement wipe mechanics. Instead of a usual 5-man group that traditional MMOs have, there's 6, and I think that's a great move. It really adds more team dynamic and makes your team feel more full when progressing through the dungeons. Speaking of dungeons, there's a good solid amount of them, and each is very memorable, filled with engaging mechanics and fitting soundtracks to match the intensity. For massive scale combat, there are definitely a few skills that need tuning badly, otherwise it feels fine. As a tank, it does feel rough in the front lines, but I get satisfaction knowing that my sacrifice can lead up to a big win. There are also life skills in this game, like cooking and fishing, and both of these indirectly affect your gameplay in the way of buffs. For example, certain foods made out of meat or fish give defensive or offensive buffs, and some dishes made out of eggs give EXP boosts, to name a few. It's a nice time sink that has decent returns. There are also in-game world events that happen on a schedule, and these vary from PvE to PvP events. World bosses also spawn either hostile, PvP, or peace, PvE. And this is your big shot at getting rare boss drops to sell for big money. Guilds. Alright, this is considered to be the end game of the MMO in general. You can join a guild and be an alliance of 3 other guilds to try to claim the throne in your server. Guilds, in my opinion, are definitely the social aspect of the game and heavily contribute to the storyline of the server in terms of politics and drama, and whoever gets to claim the throne, which I'll explain later. Even if you aren't a part of a top guild, you can still make just as much money with the weekly guild raids that your guild can do to get some guaranteed rare boss drops to deck out your team or to sell to the market. The guild system even offers a sell to auction house feature where any item sold can have the profits split amongst all members of the guild. Being the guild to control the throne means that you can get a cut of all the premium currency spent on that server, to a degree, based on taxes that the main occupying guild sets. It's an absolute blast to try to be the top guild to occupy the seat, and the only way to be top dog is to be the guild that dominates the throne during a bi-weekly siege event, which is just crazy fun and insane to be a part of. You can help level up your guild by completing guild contracts and in-game activities, and in return, your guild grows, which gives you more passive benefits and more weekly guild raids to do. Your guild can participate in guild versus guild content to control territory for buffs, as well as inter-server battles at the time of this recording. There's so much more to break down about the game, but I'm going to talk about a few key elements that might persuade or dissuade you from playing. Is the game pay to win? Yes, but with an asterisk. The game being free to play means that it offers premium currency that you can spend to buy weapons and armor that are a cut above the rest. However, the reason why I say that there's an asterisk is because this premium currency, called Lucent, is actually very easily obtainable through just playing the game normally. You don't need some sort of super auction stock market sense to get money. The game offers you plenty of material and gameplay for free to obtain Lucent with. I've only bought the Battle Pass and a Leveling Pass all below $20, and I've racked up more than $150 worth of premium currency, marking my character at a high 3400 gear score, which is above average at the time of this video. You can swipe your credit card all you want and be top gear score, but the fact is, all the top PvP content in this game won't work or matter to you if you don't join a guild or work together with your team. One person or class can't do it alone. My character goes toe-to-toe with some heavy spenders, and while my guild doesn't exactly play 8 hours a day or swipes their credit card for over 4 digits, they can still get some really good fights in and make a name for themselves. Okay, here's another controversial topic, Zerging, which is by definition a mass of people all charging into one area. Right now, the apex of PvP is dominated by the alliance system, where any guild can ally with 3 other guilds. A current trend in most servers is where the top 3 guilds ally with each other and essentially gatekeep the rest of the server from PvP content. Now, there's definitely arguments to both sides of the fence. Personally, I was not okay with mega alliances purposefully cutting off peace bosses by turning the dungeon that they were in into a PvP zone using in-game mechanics. Thankfully, that was fixed recently. Other than that, I find mega alliances to be okay in general. It really only affects the high-end PvP content, and PvEers aren't affected too much anymore now that peace bosses are no longer threatened by in-game mechanics. I think alliances are necessary in driving up content and interest in the game, as well as developing a unique server politics drama line in each server. I am not a part of a mega alliance that controls the throne or has gatekept anyone from any content. I just find it fun to be a part of an alliance that is trying to be the underdog trying to claw their way up to the top. I'm not going to say the alliance system is perfect right now. There's definitely a ton of discussion on the back end regarding alliances and how it's affecting the game. I'm going to stay neutral on it for the time being, and I am praying and hoping that there's going to be changes in the future to prevent massive mega zergs. I really do like this game. I feel like my time is respected, and I genuinely think the grind is not as bad as the other MMOs on the market right now. I was able to join a community that has grown a lot over the course of the game's lifespan, and I think that is what has also really sparked my interest in the game. You should have no trouble finding a guild that fits you best. Throne and Liberty truly has something for everyone, and I think people don't give enough credit for that. And best of all, it's 100% free. Do not let that premium currency scare you. It is easily obtainable. It's crazy how easy it is to actually get Lucent to beef your character up. Sometimes I feel like NCSoft just gives it all away. It's absolutely worth at least one playthrough. It's gorgeous to look at, the soundtrack is enthralling, and the seamless transitions from city to area will keep you hooked. Throne and Liberty gets a 9 out of 10. Thank you so much for listening. You guys are amazing. If you watched all the way to the end, your support really makes my whole month, and I would love it if you continued on this journey with me. Stay safe this Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.